Hello everyone, my name is Strifium and welcome back to another Misfits Racing League highlights video. This time around we are here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and we are in the streets of Baku for the Misfits Racing League EU grid, and they will be the first grid this week to take us through some highlights. Enjoy. Pole position, Hurricane over at Ferrari in first position with Fraser lining up next to him in second. Kana, the Finn, in the McLaren, rounding out your top three. Of course, Vettel in fourth, Domi in fifth, and we will go down through the rest of this grid come the formation lap. Yes, and it's 4 or 5 red lights on here in Baku, Unicorn. Engines are revving, drivers are ready to go, and it's going to be Hurricane on pole position here in Baku. Drivers are away and we are off racing here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix round 3 for these EU drivers. Domi on the inside down into turn 1. He's squeezed off Hurricane already, and it's Domi into P1. Kana is in second and Hurricane has now dropped into P4. There's a bit of an issue down into turn 2. And all of these drivers currently slow up through there, but it looks like Domi with a huge move up the inside right now has made it into lead of this race. Kana chasing in second and Hurricane looking to recover. Vettel on the inside of Jake down into turn 3. Very tight, but Hurricane with a fantastic exit slots himself ahead of the racing point down into turn 5. But it's the McLaren of Alexander who has had a fantastic race start here. Wheel to wheel coming down into the left-hander. Who is going to get out in front? It is the McLaren still. Wow, what a start we have had here in Baku, Unicorn.
Yeah, looking a bit further down the grid, Fraser. That glitch not stopping him at all in the Renault. Now looking at Ruben. Interestingly, he's going to back out before the castle section, sensibly enough. But he's absolutely shot out, and that's into the castle. I whacked him with a huge commentator's curse there. Straight into the castle section. The two Red Bulls as well, down into turn 2. They had an issue.
Careful down into turn 15 to get on those brakes early, but meanwhile Hurricane, who is still charging here. Jake defending in the Alfa Romeo. They're coming down through sector 3. Hurricane, so much speed, overtaking full swing here. He gets out in front, but there's a McLaren in the mix. That's Alexander. He's having him peeking. Which way is he going to go? He has Hurricane into third. That's Jake on the rear, and he looks for a move up the inside. It's wheel to wheel between the Alfa Romeo and the McLaren. Jake now through into turn 2. He has lost out. It's Alexander so carefully up the inside. What a battle and what a move. The McLarens are running 2 and 4.
Wing repairs, but now
on Hurricane. Hurricane's wheel to wheel with Alexander. There's been a big issue here, and I'm not entirely sure what set that chain of events in motion, but it happened quite quick. And Hurricane and Alexander coming together here. We have a VSC deployed. He's carrying behind that AlphaTauri of Tim is monumental. Look at the absolute speed with DRS. He's not even using.
A huge crash. That has to be a safety car, surely.
Oh, and there's a VSC deployed. Major collisions through sector 3, and what has happened there? It's Cotters and Energy who have appeared to come together.
Yeah, Energy, he was just sort of at the side of the track. He obviously just crashed as a mistake, and then Cotters just ran into the stationary car. Not really noticing the yellow flags, it would seem. He was fairly close behind. Both of him DNFing, of course. Yeah, we just sort of got pockets of 2 or 3 drivers all across the track, each vying for position. That's a big slide for Domi there, out of what I believe is turn 19 in the Haas.
And that's cost him DRS. That's cost him DRS, and that's going to be a big pain for the Haas driver now, because that gap has now dropped to a 1.5 seconds, and now there's another retirement, and I'm not entirely sure what's happened with this driver, but that's going to be Fubar, and he's out inside of sector 2.
On the front now, Tim sort of being left by Sasso a little bit, and now Kana, he's breezing past the AlphaTauri. Obviously, DRS really aiding him in that fact, but it is interesting because Tim has a lot more ERS than the McLaren ahead of him, and tyre strategy different between these two, but the same compound of tyre and 7 laps for Tim. Not too old on those hards for the time being.
And you can see now wheel to wheel, there's just no contest between these two right now, and it's going to be Domi, I think, with the DRS as well. You can see right past the DRS detection zone there, that Haas just skates through.
Yeah, Kana retaking the lead as well from Sasso.
That DRS so strong. It's going to be Jake now. Steph ahead of him. I'm going to see another exchange.
Getting a little too close to the rear of that Alpha Tauri, but it is the Alfa Romeo pass, as well as Lutra. He's got past Crampy up on that straight.
Yeah, Steph's come into the pit lane, and there's another wheel-to-wheel exchange right now, except it's 3 wide. Vettel and Extreme getting ahead of Dirk Chocolate now, and what a sight that was. As those two are looking to fight down into turn 1. That's Vettel on the inside. The Mercedes coming really wide and deep there, and Dirk Chocolate has a fantastic view of this battle unfolding between the Racing Point and Mercedes ahead.
On similar tires to Domi, can he catch the Haas ahead? And
Lutra's round.
Mercedes.
Lutra's round, and he's trying to get that car back going here, and of course no resetting to track. He's getting it turned around and looking for drivers coming flying by, and that's Ruben into 10th position. Vettel through as well, and we have a yellow flag in that section. Driver's doing a good job of slowing down, and he has so much damage, I think, on that Mercedes. Well, Jake's come out already fighting, and Crampy's his first target on the inside. Very tight to the rear with the Racing Point there, and it's Crampy holding position for now.
Here goes Crampy though, down towards turn 1, looking around the outside in the Racing Point, and he is ahead, and he's going to keep himself ahead. Very nicely done.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hurricane in the Ferrari making his way ahead of the McLaren down into turn 1, utilizing that DRS and overtake, and now coming out of turn 1, Kana with a great exit, sticking with the Ferrari quite well. We'll have to see what it looks like coming down into turn 3.
Yeah, one thing as well, I would expect to see Safso come into the pit this lap.
Yeah, he's gone so long on these hard compound tires. Kana with a dive up the inside into turn 3. Wheel to wheel, so tight. Gives Hurricane the space. They're still exchanging, coming down through into turn 4 now. It's Hurricane. Wow, very nicely done between these two drivers. No drama.
As well, Kana, will he get back towards Hurricane? It'll be interesting to see how long these medium compound tires stay competitive. Obviously, Kana, we've already seen have a few issues, having to ease off.
On the well, he made the move up the inside of Crampy, coming down into turn 1. DRS, of course, such a factor there. Now, once again, for Crampy, is he going to have a good exit here, and is he going to be able to catch up with Jake coming down into turn 3? It doesn't appear so.
Now he's going to have to do it again. That's the sector 1 yellow flag, and that's the Alpha Tauri. The lap to Cara Steph causing Domi an issue, and that is going to benefit Kana hugely here, and that might have just given him the race win if he can stay out in front with no issues.
Alexander defending against Safso right now very carefully in the McLaren. He's in 4th, and he's on these 10-lap old mediums, but he's had an issue coming through into turn 2. Safso sneaking by on the inside, and Adrian very tight to the rear of that McLaren now. That has cost Alexander massively. He moves off to the inside now, but the DRS overtake for the Williams with that lunge down into turn 3. How's the exit going to go for the McLaren? He's out in front just barely. On the inside is the Williams, and they're wheel-to-wheel through there, and Adrian has made it into 5th for now. Alexander up the inside, though. Wheel-to-wheel coming through turns 5 and 6. Wow, what a battle we're witnessing here between these two. The Williams and the McLaren in Baku. Alexander, of course, he was in 4th a moment ago. He lost out to Safso, but he is doing everything he can to make sure he doesn't lose out to Adrian here. And it's Alexander now, who's having an exchange with Adrian, still coming down through turn 3, wheel to wheel. It's Alexander back out in front of this Williams. Still fighting, coming through turn 4. The McLaren just ahead on the inside, now coming through into turn 5, but of course the Williams with a lunge, holding around, now switching to the inside. How's this going to go? Do we have the shot on camera? Adrian, wow, what a battle we're seeing between these two. Wheel to wheel now, coming down into turn 7.
Who's going to back out, coming down towards Castle? They're side by side. Someone has to be the... it's going to be the McLaren of Alexander. Adrian now up into 5th.
Off where these drivers are, and Domi and Hurricane both within a second of the race win right now, and we'll have to see how this plays out. We're on this penultimate lap, coming down through turn 15. Domi on that inside curbing there, and it's going to be Hurricane with a fantastic shot of this, and Kana is not going to be able to do much against these soft runners coming down into turn 1. He may even get overtaken coming out through into the DRS zone.
Yeah, Kana is in big trouble here. We've already seen it with Tim absolutely lose to Vettel, and he's on 12 lap old mediums, let alone 17 lap old hards. But here we go, DRS in full swing. There's Domi swinging to the left, and his Hurricane swinging to the right, and Kana in that McLaren. He's losing out to both of these guys, but now Hurricane, he's not finished. He's going up the inside of Domi into turn 1, and that's Domi having a little spin, and he has lost it. And Kana now back into the lead of this race. Domi with damage, he's down into 3rd.
Hurricane with the race win. Kana in 2nd. Of course, there was a little bit of an issue at the line there. Stewards are going to review. It is quite possible that Kana did end up getting that win at the line. Of course, Domi rounding out your top 3. That is your podium. Safso in 4th from 9th. Adrian in 5th.